How's it going, everybody? My name is Jim, and this is going to be a review on this miva va16s. So what this is a 1.5 ton mini excavator from China. And this is essentially, it's the same platform as a Digit EM15 with a different control bank layout. So also, I should note here, since we have a good view of it, you see how the thumb is hyper extended out? So it looks like it's pushed all the way out. This is a pinnable thumb from the factory, so that's how these things come. And it makes it really hard to grab onto things because you don't have a very wide opening when you have the either your bucket or your root rake extended all the way up. It's just a really small opening. So these pinnable thumbs, some of them are good, some of them aren't so good. And this is one that I'm going to criticize and say isn't that great because it's just not very functional unless you have the boom at full extension. So the way you fix that is you can get a hydraulic thumb retrofit kit. I think they run close to $300. So yeah, that's just some of the manufacturers like AGT. They have 3 different positions you can put the thumb in. And then some of them they just have that's either all the way retracted or all the way forward. And that's what this one is. So just something to be mindful of if you're looking at one of these. You're probably going to want to get a retrofit kit for a hydraulic thumb so you have better versatility and more maneuverability with it, because having your boom fully extended out to pick and grab material, it's a little problematic. So what this excavator is based off of, it's a, like I said, Digit EM15. So same bloodline. So the chassis is the same, the body panels are the same. What is truly different is you have the valve bank in front of you like a traditional 1-ton mini excavator versus the controls for the boom off to the side of your one in each hand. So this is not a pilot controlled machine. I know a lot of people really like the pilot controls. They're a lot smoother. But for simplicity's sake, this truly is a simpler design. So if that's something that appeals to you, of a simply designed machine, it's easier to work on because there's just less moving parts. This could be a checkbox in the pro category for that. So this thing is powered by a Rato 13.5 horsepower motor. So it's the same bloodline as what the Briggs & Strattons that they used to put in these things is. Some of the stuff I've been reading online is that they are essentially the same. They come out of the same factory as the Harbor Freight Predator motors. So I can't verify that, but that's just what I'm seeing online. So what do I like about it and what do I not? What I like about this is it is a wider footprint. It's a more comfortable to run machine versus a 1-ton excavator because of that wide footprint. So when I'm going over uneven terrain, when I'm on a hillside, it just feels more stable. If I'm lifting a heavy load, if I'm lifting it off to the side of the machine, I'm not going to tip over quite as easily. So I like that. It is heavier, so we're closer to 3,000 pounds versus 2,000 pounds, and that extra weight really does help with the jerkiness of these things. So these machines are small, so anytime you're digging with it, it's going to be a lot more of a bumpy ride, like you're bull riding. I mean, something that's when you're hitting a lot of roots too, that's what it can feel like. You're getting jerked all over the place. So a little bit more weight and a wider footprint. I like that about it. It's a overall a pretty decently put together machine. The quality on it's pretty good. So as far as the negatives on this machine, like I said, that thumb, the way it is either all the way out or all the way back, there's nothing in between there. I don't care for that. And the other thing I don't really care for is there's not a lot of room in the front where your feet go, specifically your right knee. So with the control box being right in front of you, your right knee is kind of stuffed in between the sidewall and that control box. So anytime you're digging and you hit a root and it jerks the machine forward, it's going to jam your knee into that control box. And doing that all day, that doesn't feel good. So especially if you're a bigger guy, there's not a ton of room in this thing. So that's just something to keep in mind, that it's not quite as comfortable as a Digit EM15, which has the controls mounted on the side of your armrest and then you just have your track control in front of you. So yes, they're essentially the same frame, but this one just has a simpler control valve body that sits in front of you, a little bit less things to go wrong, and but other than that, they're essentially the same machine. The motor on this thing, like I said, it's a rat toe. I think the Diggets have transferred over to the rat toe motors as well. And that's the thing, is this is a price war that China is doing right now. They're trying to get these machines over here as cheaply as they can so they can make money on selling them. And that means moving away from the Briggs & Stratton motors to rat toe motor, or whatever motor they decide to put in these to save a couple bucks. That's what they're going to do. As far as quality, I think it runs just fine. It's a little bit louder, a little bit harsher, but at the end of the day, this thing, I bought this thing to dig, and that's what it does. It digs things, it can pick it up, it can move rocks, it can move logs. It's doing a job that I needed to do, and it's doing it in a very cost-effective manner. So price point on these things, they're close to $700 to $7,500. It just depends on where you are in the country, or where you are in the world for that matter, and how much competition there is. Say if you're buying this at an auction, if you're competing a lot against businesses, if you're competing against a lot of other people, they're going to drive the price up. If you're buying this online, it just depends on what the price is at that point. I mean, it's a very fluctuating economic time that we're in right now, so the prices that I'm telling you right now are not going to be the prices that in, say, a year if you're watching this video from the date it was published. So yeah, price it fluctuates with these things quite a bit. But I truly believe for the money that you're going to spend on one of these, and if you know what you're going into, these are a great value. If you can tighten a couple bolts here and there, if you can tighten some hoses on some hydraulic lines, if you can clean out a carburetor if it gums up, then this is a perfectly good machine for a homeowner, for a landscaper or general contractor, because compared to a Kubota, Bobcat, or a big name brand machine, the savings are just incredible. And I know that the concern about the warranty is there, but you're paying for that warranty up front with the purchase price. This thing, you're not getting a big warranty, but you're also saving a ton of money. So if something breaks, you could also afford to take it to a local mechanic and have them fix it. So overall, pretty happy with this machine. I would say that it's a good machine if you're looking for something bigger than a 1-ton Mini. This is a good step up, and overall, I'm pretty happy with it. The only negatives, like I said, I could find on it are the thumb and where my right knee is there, but it's not a deal breaker for me. At the end of the day, the machine is doing what I needed to do, which is to move material and dig holes. So hopefully you guys got something out of this video, and if you want, there's other videos I have on these Chinese mini excavators of different sizes, so feel free to check those out. So thank you guys for checking out the video, and have a wonderful day.